I'm good. How are you?
Good. We haven't had a chance to talk to you since Tom unretired. I know up to that point, Bruce had told us that you would be competing, obviously, with Blaine for the starting job. So just what was your reaction to that? How disappointed were you, if at all?
Talking about like Tom's retirement.
Yeah, just coming back now and then that relegating you to maybe a different role.
I mean, I don't really look at it like that. He had his own situation, and he made whatever decision that he felt was best for the point he was at in his career. And I'm just excited to be here playing football. I'm able to take really good reps here at OTAs, competing out here, and all I can do is just keep getting better.
Kyle, speaking of competing, quarterbacks coach Mike Christensen said that Blaine Gaverin's the number 2 guy. He's got the backup job. Todd Bowles comes out a week or so later, says no, it's no competition. Kyle's in there to compete for that backup job. Where do things stand in your mind in all of this for the battle for number 2?
That's out of my control. That's just a lot of the conversation, I guess, going on in places outside of the building. And for me personally, I'm just worried about what I can control. And I love to compete. Me and Blaine have been having a really good past couple weeks of OTAs, and we all love playing football and competing. And like I said, we're just focused on getting better, and that's all we can do at the end of the day.
Kyle, the things you point to in terms of areas where you think you've taken the biggest step forward since a year ago coming in out of the draft as a rookie?
Yeah, just the complexities of the offense. In college, you grasp a playbook after a few camps and you're good to go. And I think the NFL game is way more complex. You see a lot more defenses and coverages. Definitely a lot of new fronts and blitzes that and every team has their own scheme and they all have their own packages of fronts and blitzes and coverages and things like that. So it's just way more complex. But luckily I'm in a really good room of quarterbacks and I get to learn from them every single day. And I think as long as I just keep stacking these days, then I'm on the right track.
Do you think your background, trusting the process in college and high school, has kind of prepared you for this? Because, you're not going to be starting right out of the gate at this level, just like you had to wait in college, wait in high school.
Probably by default, it does help me. That's never been my mindset, is I'm going to get there and just kind of sit and learn and then take my opportunity when it arises. I've always been the one that, I want to compete every single day, but just along my journey, that's been, I guess, the road I've taken. By default, I've had to sit and just work and keep grinding. Ultimately, I think that's helped me in the end, because it just forces me to just keep stacking these days and getting better. And that's kind of all I'm doing right now, and just waiting for my number to get called, and hopefully I'll be ready.
You kind of pushed through situations where you were a lot lower than the 3rd quarterback, if you will. Is there a tangible difference to you between 2 and 3, between dressing this fall on Sundays and not dressing? Is that something that would mean a lot to you?
Of course, everyone wants to dress on game day. It's obviously a different mindset when you're dressing and when you're not. But like I said before, that's out of my hands. All I can do is, try to get completions and score touchdowns and do what I can. So.
What do you think is the biggest thing that you've learned from Tom?
Just the preparation. He prepares like no other. He prepares more than I'm sure a lot of other quarterbacks in this league are willing to do. And that's kind of what separates him, and ultimately it comes down to his love of the game and wanting to be the best. And that's just really a special opportunity for me to be able to, see that firsthand. And just going to keep stacking the days, and I'm going to try to see how much more I can learn from him this year.
Is it difficult? You look around the league, you see guys you competed against, throw for throw, Mac Jones, others that might be playing, that you're like, but for another situation, I could be doing that too.
It just depends on your perspective. It depends on what situation you're in. Like, every single team's different, and the game of football is a game of a bunch of different variables and a lot of things that you can't control. So that's why you always have to be focused on what you can control. So, I try not to think about other people's situations, because there's nothing I can really do about that. I can only control mine.
One of the things you look like you've controlled is your body, right? Like you seem to be leaner to me, your feet. Just what have you done in that area in terms of just, taking care of yourself?
Well, that was probably one of the first things I noticed whenever I first got here last year was the speed of the game. So all throughout last year, I really tried to, clean up my eating and trim down and just get as quick on my feet as possible. And that's definitely been one of my, focal points this offseason. And I think I've kind of hit my goal weight, and now I'm just trying to maintain and just keep on getting quicker and keep quickening up my feet and playing as fast as I can.
What food or foods have you sworn off that you really like, that you really miss?
Just a lot less cheat meals, just sticking to chicken, steak, and rice and whatever they have here. It's usually pretty healthy, so I just stick to this stuff.
Where are you at in terms of your weight now compared to where you were when you walked in the building last
I probably lost about 7-8 pounds and just got rid of a lot of bad weight and put on some good muscle. And, in the end, that's helped me out getting quicker on my feet.
You said your intent in college and high school wasn't to be on the bench for a year or two, if you will. Does that help you in terms of patience, though, just handling a situation you knew would be a weight when you came on just because Brady was here?
Are you saying like me coming into college?
Yeah, does the fact that you had to wait 2-3 years in high school and college, does that help you now as you're facing a second year potentially here like that?
Man, I don't know. I guess I don't really have a good answer for that because I never go into a situation and I'm never okay with just, we're just sitting back and relaxing and waiting for a shot. So I guess it does help for me that I have that experience, that I have kind of sat and got to develop until my number was called, because just going through that experience, I guess it forces you not to lose your composure, and that you can trust the process and just keep working as hard as you can every single day, because eventually your opportunity is going to come and you have to be ready.
Kyle, the last time you had your number called was in the preseason. You ended on a high note against the Texans. How much did that help? Because the first 2 games weren't as good as your third one, right? But how much did that game help you from a confidence and mental standpoint as you go throughout the entire season of not even dressing out there on Sunday?
Yeah, it was definitely a good high note to end on for the preseason. There's a lot of new guys out there that we're still, working on meshing together throughout the preseason. And the Texans game, we kind of were able to put some good plays together. And it kind of let me know that I'm able to play with, guys at the next level. And obviously there aren't many starters out there during the preseason snaps I was taking last year, but it still let me know that I can make plays and play at this level. So it was a good confidence boost going into the rest of the season.
You're getting a lot of reps now at OTAs. So what do you think you've done with them? How do you think you've performed out here up to this point?
I think I've been doing pretty good. I've definitely made a lot of good improvements from last year. Got a lot more confidence in the playbook. Still working on just cleaning up the small things. Just finding as many completions as you can. That's really what this game is all about. I'm really, proud of myself for the strides that I've taken this far. But, I still got a ways to go for sure. But I'm on the right track.
When you look at the quarterback roster in this room, you got Blaine and Ryan who are in their 30s. Tom's the oldest quarterback in the league, almost 45. With you being so young, when you look at the guys in your room, do you look at that and say, okay, I might not be playing right now, but I could be playing well into my 30s, maybe even later than that? Does that kind of help this process right now, where you're having to take these redshirt years knowing that you have a lot of career?
There is. You definitely want to be able to play this game for as long as you can, especially for the amount of love I have for this game. I just want to play for as long as I can, and to be able to see the other guys in the room that you can play this for 10, 15 plus years, 20 plus years if you're Tom. But yeah, it's really cool, and they give me a lot of great advice for off the field stuff too, just because at that point they've pretty much seen it all in this league. So it's way beyond football, the amount of advice that I get from them, and I'm just really grateful for this opportunity to be here.
One of the guys you're throwing the ball to is Rashad White, the new running back. What are your thoughts on him, your initial impression of what he's been able to do?
Oh, he's been having a great last couple weeks in OTAs. You know, he's great hands, very smooth, and I think he's going to be able to really help us out this year.